Wow, you guys have really outdone yourselves this time with these emails. They're about this neighborhood in Baltimore, Station East. And it looks like, well, from these emails, there's some serious trouble brewing.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, basically, you've got these homeowners, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they bought into this whole revitalization dream, shiny new homes,
Right, right.
a fresh start. But it turns out that the community development organization involved, HEBCAC, is, well, let's just say they're not exactly winning any popularity contests.
So, classic case of reality not quite matching the brochure, huh?
It's worse than that, actually. And then you throw in this for-profit developer, Eager Street Development 28 LLC, and it's just a recipe for disaster. And the contractors, don't even get me started on the contractors.
Okay, let's hear it. Spill the tea. What's going on?
Okay, so one homeowner, Shauna Fredericks, she sent us these pictures of her bathroom ceiling.
Yeah,
It's a mess. Leaking, water damage, the whole 9 yards.
that's awful.
But here's the kicker. The contractor, Edgemont Builders, they already tried to fix it twice.
Oh, God.
And it's still leaking.
You've got to be kidding me. So right off the bat, you've got this huge breach of trust.
Exactly. And this is just one example, unfortunately.
I bet. So what are we looking at here? Leaky roofs, foundation problems, the usual suspects.
Pretty much. Homeowners are finding all sorts of issues, leaky roofs, basement flooding, you name it. And they're all saying the same thing. These problems weren't disclosed before they bought their homes.
That's a nightmare. I mean, buying a home is a huge investment.
Right. It's supposed to be this exciting time, but for these folks, it's turned into a total nightmare.
Yeah, no kidding. So what do they do? I mean, they're not just sitting back and taking this, are they?
Absolutely not. They're fighting back. And they're doing it smart.
How so?
By gathering evidence, we've got emails from Nicholas Miles, another homeowner.
Okay.
He's got an independent inspection report from KMA Associates. He's even sent a video showing what looks like rotted wood under his roof. They're not messing around.
Good for them. It's like you always say, documentation is key.
It's the only way to hold these developers and HEBCAC accountable.
Right, and it shows they're taking this seriously. They're not just complaining, they're building a case.
Exactly. And you know what? To give HEBCAC some credit, they did initially seem open to working things out.
Really?
Yeah, there's an email from April 2019 where the HEBCAC board lays out a proposal. They say they'll drop a lawsuit they had pending against the homeowners.
Okay.
They'll work with them on the repairs and even extend their warranties.
Well, that sounds promising.
Right. Seems like they're trying to make things right. But there's a catch.
There's always a catch, isn't there?
There is. They ask the homeowners to return a tax credit they received.
A tax credit.
Yeah, you know how sometimes you get those to encourage homeownership in revitalized areas?
Right, right. Those can be pretty substantial.
Exactly. But they come with conditions, and it seems like in this case, HEB6 is using it as leverage.
Oh, I see. So these homeowners, they're already facing unexpected expenses because of the shoddy construction.
Right, and now they're being asked to repay a tax credit.
Ouch. That's gotta hurt. It's adding insult to injury.
Absolutely. And this is where the tension really starts to escalate. On one hand, HEBs is saying, hey, we'll help with the repairs. But on the other hand, they're essentially asking homeowners to pay back money they desperately need to fix the very issues HEBCAC helped create.
It's a mixed message. You can see why the homeowners would be frustrated.
It's more than frustrating. It's a total mess. And the lack of clarity from HEBCAC just makes it worse.
Yeah, I can see how that would erode trust.
You've got these homeowners feeling like they're in the dark, not knowing who to trust or what to believe, and it just makes the whole situation more volatile.
It's a major misstep for an organization that's supposed to be advocating for the community.
You said it. And then there's this whole thing with Ted Rouse.
Ted Rouse.
Yeah, he's a key figure in the development entity. And from what we can see in these emails, he seems to be avoiding the homeowners at all costs. They try to schedule a meeting, and he's always got an excuse.
Oh, that's classic. Just hoping they'll get tired and go away.
It sure seems that way. And it's just another example of the power dynamic at play here.
Yeah, you've got these homeowners dealing with all this stress, trying to get their homes fixed, and they can't even get a meeting with the guy who's ultimately responsible.
It's infuriating, and it speaks to a larger issue of accountability or lack thereof.
Exactly. These homeowners are being treated like they're invisible, like their concerns don't matter.
And that feeling of being disregarded just fuels their anger and frustration.
It's like a pressure cooker just waiting to explode.
And believe me, things are about to get a whole lot hotter. But for that, you'll have to stay tuned for part 2.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay, so we've got homeowners feeling like they've been left out in the cold, literally.
Right, and their homes are falling apart around them, they're out of pocket for repairs, and the developer is MIA.
Talk about adding insult to injury. What do they do?
Well, it seems like HEBCAC finally realizes they've got a PR nightmare on their hands,
Uh-huh.
so they bring in a new guy.
A new guy, huh? Who's that?
His name is Mel Freeman, and they make him the operations manager for Eager Street Development 28 LLC.
Oh, so they're trying to put a fresh face on things.
Exactly. And his main job is to deal with the homeowners and try to smooth things over.
Makes sense. But does he actually have any power to make real changes, or is he just a figurehead?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is. I mean, the homeowners have already been burned, right?
Burned is an understatement. They're rightfully skeptical of anyone connected to HBSEC at this point.
Yeah, I can't blame him.
And Nicholas Miles, the homeowner with the inspection report, he sends this email to Freeman, and he's basically like, okay, what's your deal? What can you actually do for us?
He's getting straight to the point.
Yeah, they've been strung along for so long. They're done with the runaround. They want answers.
And rightly so. It's like every time they think they're making progress, they hit another roadblock.
Exactly. And just when you think it can't get any crazier, Nicholas Miles uncovers something really fishy.
What's that?
There's a lien on his property.
A Lehman. What for?
It was filed by this company called Healthy Planet LLC, which just happens to be connected to, you guessed it, Ted Rouse.
Oh, come on. You've got to be kidding me.
And the worst part is this lien was never disclosed during the whole settlement process.
So not only is there this lien hanging over his head, but they tried to sweep it under the rug.
Exactly. It's like they're playing some kind of shady shell game with these homeowners' finances.
This just gets worse and worse.
And it really raises questions about what else they might be hiding.
Yeah, like how deep does this rabbit hole go? Is this just sloppy paperwork or something more sinister?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
So what happens with the lien? Does it get resolved?
Well, Nicholas is understandably furious. He emails Rouse immediately demanding an explanation, and the lien gets removed.
At least there's that. But I bet that doesn't exactly inspire confidence in Rouse or HEBCAC.
Not exactly. The trust is completely broken at this point.
So they got the lien removed. Did they ever actually get that meeting with Rouse?
Well, they try, but every time they get close, something happens. He postpones, he's out of town, there's always some excuse.
Sounds like he's playing a game of cat and mouse with them.
Oh, absolutely. It's classic avoidance tactics. He's hoping they'll just wear down and give up.
And that's just wrong. I mean, these are people's homes, their livelihood.
Exactly. But you know what? To their credit, these homeowners, they refuse to back down.
Good for them. They're not letting them get away with it.
They've invested so much in these homes, both emotionally and financially, and they're determined to get some kind of justice.
They deserve answers. They deserve accountability.
Absolutely. So that's where we leave things at the end of part 2. Will the homeowners finally get the resolution they're fighting for? Or will they continue to be stonewalled by Rouse and HEBCAC? Stay tuned for the final chapter in the Station East saga. Okay, so we're back and ready to finish unpacking this whole Station East situation. It's been a roller coaster, hasn't it?
It really has. These homeowners have been through so much already. Broken promises, unanswered questions, you name it.
It makes you wonder, did they ever get to meet with Ted Rouse?
They did, actually.
They did.
Yeah, it seems like after a lot of back and forth, Rouse finally agreed to meet with them along with some folks from the HEBCAC board.
Well, that's got to be a good sign, right? Maybe they can finally hash things out and get some real answers.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, even this meeting, which was supposed to be a step towards a resolution, just ended up highlighting how broken the communication is and how little trust there is left between the homeowners and HEBCAC.
Oh, so it didn't go well.
Not really. Nicholas Miles, the homeowner who'd been so diligent about gathering evidence, he sent an email after the meeting, and it's clear he's just baffled by how things went.
What happened?
Well, it seems like Rouse suggested bringing in yet another licensed home inspector.
Wait, another one? Seriously?
Yeah, after all those independent inspections they already paid for, after all those detailed estimates and even videos of the damage, Rouse basically acted like they were starting from scratch.
Are you kidding me? That's infuriating. I mean, how much more evidence do they need?
It's almost like Rouse was deliberately trying to stall. You know, like he was hoping to drag things out so long that the homeowners would just get exhausted and give up.
It wouldn't surprise me at this point. They've already been through so much.
And it really highlights the power imbalance at play here. You've got these homeowners who've poured their hearts and souls into their homes.
Right.
And they're being treated like Their concerns are insignificant, like they're overreacting.
It's dehumanizing. And to think that HEBCAC, an organization that claims to advocate for the community, is standing by and letting this happen.
Well, and that's the other frustrating part of all this, isn't it? Even after that meeting, there's still no clear commitment from HEBCAC or the developer on whether they'll actually cover the cost of repairs
Yeah.
using contractors that the homeowners trust.
They're just stuck in limbo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that uncertainty, that not knowing when or if they'll ever get their homes fixed properly, it takes a huge toll, both emotionally and financially.
It's easy to get caught up in the legal and financial complexities of a situation like this, but at the end of the day, it's about real people's lives.
Absolutely. These are families, individuals who put their faith in HEBCAG and the promise of a revitalized community, and they've been let down in a really profound way.
So what can we learn from this? I mean, this whole Station East story has been pretty disheartening.
I think it shows just how crucial it is to have transparency and accountability in any kind of community development project. Organizations like HEBCAC need to be held responsible for ensuring that developers are actually delivering what they promise.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be up to homeowners to fight tooth and nail for basic repairs, for the right to live in a safe and decent home.
There need to be stronger protections in place for homeowners, whether it's through stricter building codes, better enforcement, or more accessible legal resources.
We need to empower homeowners to stand up for their rights and to hold developers and community organizations accountable.
Because everyone deserves to have a home they can be proud of, a home that's safe and secure. And that starts with demanding better from those who are supposed to be serving the community.
Well said. And to all of you listening out there, we want to hear from you. Have you experienced similar issues with a community development project in your area? What do you think needs to change to prevent these kinds of situations from happening in the future? Share your thoughts, your stories, because this is a conversation we need to keep having.